This week, the small Baltic country of Lithuania will play a big role, hosting President Biden and other world leaders at the NATO summit. Like Ukraine, Lithuania borders Russia and its ally Belarus and is considered most at risk of new Russian bullying and aggression. Unlike Ukraine, it is a NATO member. CBS's Holly Williams has more.
At an airbase in Eastern Europe, NATO F-16 fighter jets are scrambled. Flight crews from America's European allies have just 15 minutes to get airborne.
This is just a drill, a training exercise, but the threat is real. Since Russia invaded Ukraine last year, NATO has ramped up its air policing along its eastern flank.
Nearly all the planes they intercept are Russian military, flying close to NATO airspace, sometimes with their transponders off, violating international regulations. Last year, there were nearly 600 intercepts. We flew over Europe in a refueling tanker.
They are super close. I can make out the pilots in the cockpits.
As NATO fighter jets practiced intercepting us.
If you leave them all alone, unescorted, and we have civilian airliners flying in the same airspace, then you could potentially have a mid-air collision.
Major General Harold Van Pay told us the Baltic Sea is a hotspot, with Russia on one shore as well as several of America's NATO allies, including Estonia, a tiny nation smaller than West Virginia with a population of just over 1 million.
When you have a bully in school, then the bully does not bully you when you have big friends. And this is the way NATO works.
On the ground, we met the Prime Minister of Estonia, Kaja Kallas. Her country was once invaded and occupied by the Soviet Union. Now, independent Estonia shares a border with Russia.
It's about 120 miles in that direction, Russia.
For countries like Estonia, democracies that live in the shadow of Russia, how important has American leadership been following the invasion of Ukraine in terms of unifying NATO's response?
Well, United States is the biggest ally in NATO, and therefore everybody's looking up to America for leadership. This is a fundamental fight for freedom that is going on.
But some in the US are questioning whether America should continue to support Ukraine.
I will have the disastrous war between Russia and Ukraine settled. It will be settled quickly.
That could mean pressuring Ukraine to give up part of its country for a truce. And it makes some here in Europe nervous.
What keeps you up at night?
One of the nightmares is that our unity is falling. Now we have kept this unity, and I think my nightmare is related to this unity falling apart.
Holly Williams, CBS News, Estonia.